What's up? This is the Free Game Podcast, and you know we for the people. Today, I have with me Markeisha, CEO of Mark
Oh,
VA.
I was saying, why would it get marked now?
Now, do you want to tell them, like, what is Get Marked Now? I know that's a slogan, right? And I think it's a decent slogan, especially for, like, what you got going on, like, your business. What made you come up with that?
So, to be honest, right, I watch Jamie Foxx a lot. Shout out to my boyfriend. And I don't know if y'all remember, Jamie Foxx at one point used to work for, like, a jingle company. And that's what gave me the idea. I was like, what's something catchy, that's going to stick. I watched, like, when y'all hear State Farm, they always got the jingles, Liberty. So I was like, why would it get marked? Like, that's catchy. And then I made, like, a music video out of it.
Did you? I don't think I seen it.
Look no further.
I do remember this.
And then it was like...
Can y'all hear it?
Why wait, get marked now.
I do remember this.
Why wait, get marked now.
Yeah, and it's like a 2-minute track. And I had got like a producer to make a beat for me, a custom beat. Then I made like a video. I recorded like a whole track at the studio.
Okay.
He mixed it up for me.
You made the verse yourself?
Okay, I hang out with him. If y'all know me, I'm not a rapper. But I got hooked. So one of my good friends, his cousin raps. So I asked him to make a hook. And he was like, why wait, get marked now.
I think I heard this. I did hear this. I definitely did.
Y'all, it's so funny. I might play it at one point. I gotta see if I have it on my phone.
Yeah,
but it was real hard. Actually, let me see.
You gotta bring it. You gotta be fun with stuff like this though, especially with businesses. So like keeping it fun.
Yes,
that was a good idea.
And like I had dropped it on my birthday, so like it was like. It was a joke, but it wasn't a joke.
Yeah.
When I started doing Mark VA, I used to do a lot of gimmicky stuff. Mm-hmm. And people think marketing is like, it's not corny, but it's like the corny stuff is what kind of sticks. So I'm not saying be corny. But what I'm saying is don't be afraid to try things.
Yeah.
Like I remember for like a holiday sale, it was Christmas. Instead of just making a flyer with a Christmas tree, I made, I wore a Christmas outfit as an elf and I photoshopped myself on the flyer.
That's decent.
So people over there resharing it because they had my face all the time. I'm like, y'all sharing my services and flyers. I don't care. And that's kind of how I started getting a lot of my clientele, was just putting myself out there, doing things that was different. And at one point, I got away from that. So when I did that song and video, it was like my moment of coming back, you know. Okay. So it was really fun. Let me see. Where is it? I took the time out to make a song about branding.
Yeah.
And I was like, flyers and logo, we handle it.
Yeah.
Social media, we planning it.
Okay.
And it was like, everything's up, so no, we cannot quit. It was so cheesy, but people loved it. People were like, I didn't know you could make videos like that.
Yeah.
I said, I shot that at my grandma's house on her third floor with a green screen.
Yo, it's crazy. It's crazy because I know you did a lot of other things before you got into like the marketing thing. Like, what?
Oh my gosh!
What made you get? What did you go to school for again?
So I went to school for marketing.
Did you? Okay.
Yeah, business administration with a concentration.
Shout out your school so they can know.
Millersville University. It's out there in Lancaster, PA, near the Amish. Shout out to the Ville. I met some really dope people. I don't know if I would be doing what I'm doing now if I didn't go there. To be honest. I was on my second school. I transferred. I was on like my second major. I was a psych major at first.
Yeah, that's what I said. I thought you were something else before you went.
I was doing psychology, and I thought I was going to be a psychologist.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean,
I
can see you still doing that, like on the side, maybe. But I know this took a lot of your time.
It did, and I realized like, as much as I like school, I didn't want to have to get a master's or a doctorate.
Yeah. Definitely
so,
with psychology. Because I wanted to do that. You have to get a master's or something to get a job.
And I was like, man, I need money quick. Like, I got these debts.
Yeah.
I need some paper. Like, y'all talking about master's minimum. And I just knew for my life that didn't work.
Yeah.
And then business kind of just worked for me.
That's decent.
Yeah. So.
I tell people a lot when I have different conversations that I think whatever you go to school for something that never dies. And business is one of them things that never die.
I agree.
I don't want to go back to school for business, but I do want to get into like certificates and like do something like that. But going back to school, no, I'm sorry.
No,
I'm sick of it.
I can't. I just can't. No way. I mean, no, I'm lying. Now that I'm older, I think I would go back.
I can't really hear you.
Okay, hold on. I'm gonna go back to the drum. I'm back, y'all. So I had to play my track real quick, and I got to put my...
He said I had to play my track real quick.
Yeah, you had to let the people know I got bars. Book me. We back. Okay. Cool. So yeah, I forgot where we were off. My bad. I'm trying to interrupt you.
It was basically what you went to school for that you didn't start. You didn't start off with marketing.
No. I thought psych was gonna be my calling, but yeah, I stumbled into business.
Yeah, that's decent.
I just.
That's a good quality to always have. Business, like I don't know. I personally think business. If business not for everybody, but I think if that's something that you're into, having business like certificates, because a lot of people think you have to go to school for it, but it's programs out there that you can go and get business certificates for. But having that underneath your belt it's helpful.
I mean, I think this is what I will say. Mm-hmm. In business, you are as important as your network. Yeah. So if you're not out here networking, and college is a great place to do that. I met a lot of people that put me in rooms that I wasn't able to be in myself. Yeah. I was able to connect. I was able to learn from them, and just gain other insights. So I feel like even though you can do these other things, you have to look at it at face value. Like whatever works for your situation. If college is feasible, great. If a trade is feasible, great. Mm-hmm. There's just a lot of options. You just got to start something. Yeah. And you'll be surprised where you might start in, let's say you go to school for a trade in like auto mechanics or something. Yeah. Come to find out, you might start fixing cars and you might end up being a good salesperson. Yep. Now you own a whole sales line. But you wouldn't know that if you didn't start at auto mechanics. So you got to just start. I think that's the hardest part.
That is the hardest part. I know, That's how I felt about the podcast. I mean, now it's definitely better quality, better lights, better mics. You know what I'm saying? But when I first started, it was kind of like a back and forth thing. Like, I'm like, I don't know if I should do it. I should do it, whatever. But then it was like, something just was like, if I don't start now, when I'm going to start?
And then to be honest, I think we get so caught up in perfection. Yep. That you have to remember, like, it can always get there.
Yep. You just got to start somewhere, yeah.
When you look at, like, the best example of sports, not every athlete start out automatically. Yep. They counted Jalen Hurts out. They told me he wasn't a good quarterback. He got benched in college, all that. Now look at him. He's a Super Bowl champion. So you just got to remember, like, it's not where you start, it's the opportunity that growth can exist.
Yep. If y'all don't take anything from this, I want y'all to know that I know y'all probably seen the other podcasts, and they are good podcasts. Don't get me wrong, but this one gonna be for the books.
Y'all, listen, it's crazy because I've known Seven for a long time, y'all. We're gonna keep it real professional, but I'm gonna take it a little back. I've known Seven for a while, and I think I'm impressed. Like she hit me up about this, and I'm not gonna lie, I thought that like it wasn't gonna happen. Not because I didn't think Seven was serious, but we don't live close. Yeah, you would have had to bring all this stuff. There were so many other factors, but. You hit me up the day before, reminding me, really was on it. And then you came, and you could have just came with your phone. Yep. But, y'all, she came with some lights. She got, like, another mic. She got a can. She got a lap. So, I'm just so excited to see, where it goes to next. And I'm just happy that you had me on the show, so.
I'm happy that you were on the show. Like, I don't think people really know, but, like, I love Black entrepreneurs. And because... we knew each other for a long time. Right. That I seen it, and I'm just like, it's so dope. Like, I gotta have you on the show. Like, it's no way I can have Unique on the show and not have you on the show.
Means a lot, man. Truly, this is my first interview, y'all. I've never done an interview. Not that I don't like to do them. I'm just, I tend to just focus on the word, and I look up and I'm like, dang, maybe I do have, some gems and free game to give. So.
I appreciate you for coming on.
Yeah.
Let's get back to the brand part, though. Okay. How did you come up with the brand?
Okay, so y'all, I was working in HR. I'm telling y'all, I had a whole life. I lived a whole life, child. I was working in HR. I always did a little bit of marketing because I went to a PWI. I was a part of these organizations that we had to convince students to come to our events. Mm-hmm. So I was always doing marketing, I just didn't know. Yep. And then finally, by my senior year, I'm taking these seminar classes, and they're like, this is marketing, this is branding, this is all these different things. And I'm like, wow, I didn't know this could be a job. Like, I didn't know that me putting together an event, making videos of flyers for it, and then getting people to come and pay money, like, I could do that for companies.
Yeah.
So that's what got me going. And I had an internship at an engineering company in their HR department. Mm-hmm. And this recruiter was just having a hard time finding people for these jobs. And I said, hey, you should use social media. And from there, she's like, all right, create my social media. So I'm doing social media for this company just on the whim.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, I'm on a call with the vice president of marketing. And they're like, yeah, we see what you're doing on Twitter. This is... So, mind you, that's when I kind of really took an interest in, like, oh, okay, yeah. I could
that's
really...
decent.
And then when I graduated, I got a job as a recruitment sourcing specialist where I had to find jobs, people for these jobs, but I had to also manage social media.
Yeah.
So now I'm like, okay, I'm doing a little marketing finally. And we were paying this agency about like $5,000 a month just to look over the post. Yeah. And I'm like, you can pay $5,000 for like, and she's like, yeah, I used to work for them, but I started my own company. And I'm like, own company, you know me, like we're from the hood. So like, I heard of this, but I don't really know anyone that has
their own. Mm-hmm.
So what she did, I kind of just started to like pick her brain, do a little deep dive, and eventually, come to find out, my position got eliminated. So I walk into work, I had a job, I left, I didn't have a job. And I didn't get fired, so they gave me a severance pay of like a couple of, some money. And I said, you know what, I never want to be in a position where I don't have something.
Yeah.
So I took that money, I started an LLC. At the time I had a business partner, and I just felt like he was very talented, but we just had two different expertise where I didn't feel like we could go 50-50 in a business.
Yeah.
And I think that's very important. If you ever have a business partner, make sure you guys are equally yoked. And I know you say that like, oh, I'm going to start with my friend. But if you can design and do social media and do these things and this person can't match half of that, you're going to end up doing most of the work.
Yeah.
And then you have to split it 50-50. And now here comes this like tension between the two. Yeah. So just be very cautious. And mind you, we're great friends now. It's no bad blood. It was just something that we both realized like, hey, maybe we shouldn't go into business together. And then I just did it by myself. I had a different business name, 7.
What was the name?
It was the Branding Consultants, because it was 2 of us.
Okay. Well, that's not really catchy. But
no, it's not. I had a logo.
You got to start somewhere.
Listen, it said TVC.
Somebody said, yes, I need some marketing tips for my business. We're going to get to all the free game.
Yeah, for sure.
Get to all the free game, but we got to know the story before we get there.
But long story short, y'all.
But we're going to drop her Instagram and stuff on here, so y'all can definitely reach out for it. She got classes and stuff. Don't you teach classes?
I mean, I teach them for like high schoolers, but I'm trying to roll out something for the people.
You should, definitely.
Yeah, I'm trying to get in my, put myself out there. I do it for others, but I don't really market myself.
Yeah. And this is a big way of her marketing herself.
Yeah, first step.
Even though we starting at the beginning, people gonna watch it and they gonna see like, yo, like I really need help with marketing, just like that. Like I need help with marketing. I need help with branding.
Hey.
So,
and sometimes you don't know until you start talking.
Yeah.
And I think that's something for me where like I said, I do the work and I really focus on how can I benefit from that. But more to the story, they gave me money. I got the LLC.
I'm sorry. Wait, go ahead.
And I changed the name from the Branding Consultants. I named it after my dad. His name is Mark. So I always was like, dang, if I do something, I wanted to honor his legacy. So I was like, Mark, I do marketing.
This whole time I thought it was after you.
No, it's after my dad.
That's decent.
So that's why it just so happened my name is Markeisha too. So it's a spin on it all.
Yeah.
And when you think marketing, the first 4 letters is MARK. So I just added ED, and then the BA stands for Branding Agency.
That's decent.
So when you put it all together, it's Mark BA.
Unique on her.
Yeah, gang. Or whatever Sev do. Yeah. Whatever the young kids do.
Not whatever Sev do. You act just like Unique. She do stuff like that all the time.
I just be confused.
That's decent though. I didn't know that it was after your dad.
Yeah.
That's what make it even more like a legacy. Like you gotta keep it going.
That part. So that's why even when I look at the logo,
this is the logo too.
Yeah,
though.
This is my logo. It's funny because it's an M and a B, But this M&B is how I signed my name. So in middle school, my name's long. Like, you should bring that. It's too much to write.
Super long.
So I would just write M&B. Like, so I've been doing this sign since I've been like 10. So when I got the business name and it was Mark Brand, I said, "Oh my God, I could put the M&B." Like,
yeah.
And people are gonna think it's for my issue, but it's really for Mark branding.
Yeah. Did you? So this a quick question is: Did you make this yourself?
I did,
because I know you do design and stuff. So yo, when I tell y'all this is a W, definitely a W stream. She do so much. Like it's not just the marketing. No. That's just the beginning.
Yeah, I started out painting. For those that really been around, I used to paint jackets, y'all. When I tell you, I was in college. I was poor, man.
I wish I still had that shirt that you made, the blue shirt.
Oh my God, that unique did. Tough. So yeah, I was literally just. I come from the hood.
Yeah.
My mom did a great job of instilling a lot of values and, making sure education was key. But when we lost my dad, we wasn't hood rich no more. Yeah. So from there, I think, my mom had to raise 3 girls. Yeah. So, you had to get very creative with how you can make money. Yeah. So in college, like, you need this joint painted. What you need? You need a flyer for $10. You need this little music video off the phone. Like, what y'all need?
Yeah.
And from there, little did I know I was crafting skills that people would need years later. Yep. Like when the pandemic hit, and everybody, oh my God,
everybody's going crazy for that type of skills.
So I was already ahead of the curve. Yeah. Like everybody said, I just started a business. I've been having a business. Something in my spirit always is like, do it. And I always did it confused. Mm-hmm. I did it tired. I did it broke. But I just did it.
Yeah. But that's how you start, though. You gotta start somewhere, and sometimes somewhere is with nothing.
Yeah, that part.
Yeah. My mom said, yes, yeah, Keith.
Oh, wow. Miss Speaking on that's crazy. Sometimes I be forgetting that, like, we're talking to other people. I feel like I'm just talking to you.
Because we do have some deep conversations.
Yeah,
so
it's
like the camera's here, but it doesn't matter.
No, not at all.
Now, I know how hardworking you are, and I know, like, how consistent you are. How is it balancing, like, your own life? And how does that affect your brand sometimes?
Oh my God, that you start with a heavy question. And not heavy.
You gotta break the ice,
But I think that's one of the things that I struggle with still.
Yeah.
Balancing it all is a tough one because your business requires so much. So there's some times where I have to sacrifice being there for my family, or like there was a period where when I first started getting business, I was just so locked in. And you could even attest, I was missing a lot.
Yeah.
I wasn't around. And when I look back, it's not that I have regrets. I had to make up for them now.
Yeah.
So that period required that dedication. But you got to realize, like, you still need your loved ones.
Yeah.
So finding that balance, I'm still figuring it out. But I feel like what helps is I'm honest.
Yeah. By
telling people, hey, y'all, I got a heavy load. Before I be like, oh, I'm not busy. I could do it.
Yeah.
Oh, I could. Hey, I got a lot going on. I'm going to try.
Mm-hmm.
Or just trying to be honest that, hey, this may take longer than I think. And I'm not perfect, 7. I make mistakes. I disappoint people. But I think I'm constantly trying to figure out how can I not have it all, but how can I do my business but still be supportive to the people that I love? Because when it's all said and done, what's the point of making money and having if you don't have people? Like when I go on vacation, I don't want to go by myself.
Yeah.
When it's my birthday, I don't want to look at a table with just the waitress.
Yeah.
So you got to remember, like, yes, your business require all of this, but there's people that love you still.
Yeah.
So let them and find time to.
That's definitely. I mean, I feel like it's hard, especially when you're in a mission and like when you're first starting out. It's like, oh my God, I can't.
But I will say this: I cannot sit up here and act like I don't have a great partner.
Yeah.
I've had the blessing of having someone who I met my person back in 2015, and it hasn't always, been what it is now. But to be able to meet him and him see it from the beginning, because like I met Jamal before I started my business.
Yeah.
So by the time I started, it wasn't like, oh, I'm somebody new. He saw me through all the stages, so. I think it's easier to like be supportive versus if I get someone new, I gotta explain to them what I'm on,
what I started from. This is my story.
How much I put into this. I gotta do that with him.
It's like I gotta do a whole spiel. I do not feel like doing that.
that.
I feel you though. I definitely understand.
And even when we weren't together, that was something that I was non-negotiable on.
Yeah.
Like, if you gonna be in my life, I'm not saying gotta take a back seat, but you gotta understand that you're not the only important thing in my life.
Yeah.
I'm not saying you're not important, but you're not the only important thing. And sometimes there's days where you might be number 3, you might be number 2. There's days where you might be number 1. So
it's always that time.
Come on. And there's times where I might not be number 1 in your life.
Yeah.
So, and when you meet people that really understand that, it gets easier versus having to be like, oh my, I got time for that, bro.
Yeah.
Like,
that's real. Especially as a business person, like, I feel like a lot of people don't put their business first, and juggling so much and trying to still run a business, it's so much. Like, you gotta take care of yourself first, and I'm glad that you got that word. Y'all have that understanding. That's real though.
Yeah. But it comes with sacrifices. Like, I think, to be very transparent, it would be like, I would have loved to, like, do a lot of things, but there was times where I had to just stay down and stay focused. And I think when someone see that you're dedicated to it, they have no choice but to respect it. When you bullshit and you keep telling someone, oh, this is important to me, but you ain't doubling down, how am I supposed to
see the picture? So, I can't help you see the picture. If you don't even see the picture, that's definitely...
Why would I make this important if you don't? Yeah. So it starts with you, I think,
That's deep. That's definitely deep. Like, I feel like a lot of people need to hear that, especially a lot of business people. That's... My mom talking, sorry. There's always ups and downs, but you always gotta keep focused.
Yeah. And that's the point. What they say, keep the main thing.
But you gotta hit the bumps. So since we speaking of bumps, what's one I don't know how to put it, because I don't want to say like mistake, but like failure. One failure that you had, but like it built you to.
I don't know if I would say it's a failure, because I don't really like to say things are failures, but I think I get what you're saying. Like, didn't work out. Yeah, didn't work out how I planned.
Yeah. That made you the person that you needed to be.
To be honest, I tried. I moved to Atlanta, and I moved to Atlanta. I was only there for a couple months. If you would have asked me, this was probably
after.
I moved before my mom. I'm low key the catalyst that got her to Atlanta.
Okay.
This was like,
I didn't even know that you moved to Atlanta.
This was 2021. A little minute ago now, because my mom's been down there for a little minute. Yeah. So this is probably 2021 fall. I had said, you know what, I'm gonna pack up all my stuff, and I'm gonna just. I thought Atlanta was it. I thought that's where I needed to be. I thought that's where I wanted to be. My target market. Yeah. Packed up everything, put it in my car, and I went and got an Airbnb for a couple months. And if you asked me, I was going to be in Atlanta. I told Jamal, hey, look, I'm out. He was like, hey, I'm not going. We had that whole thing, and I was set. That was going to be my new life. And I didn't last more than 4 months. I was back home.
Why?
Well, number one, I ran out of money. It was expensive. I underestimated, y'all, how much it costs to sustain a life. And then
you late. We already off the shirts now.
So yeah, it was expensive. And then, to be honest, I just didn't like it. Like, when I say I ran out of money, like I
know what you meant. I mean? Yeah, I know what you meant. Not like, oh my god.
Yeah,
but
it was really like, wait. I'm thinking I'm coming down here about to get $1,200 rent. Yeah. Rent's still the same prices up here.
Is it? I thought it was cheaper.
Not really. You're getting more space, but you're still gonna pay $1,800 for a decent apartment. You know us. We want amenities. Yeah. I ain't gonna move down here. I want something nice. Yeah. So it's gonna cost a little money. I was paying like $3 a month for my Airbnb.
Was you?
Yeah.
It's crazy because I don't know if you know, but I want to move to Georgia.
I think you'll love it.
Well, I don't want to move to Atlanta.
No, but I think...
But I want to own a house when I go down there.
Yeah, I think you would love it. I think I was trying to be in a mix. I'm trying to be in a city. I'm trying to rip and run. Yeah. And I realized it was past that stage. Atlanta's not a place you can rip and run if you're really not from there, I feel like, because... Okay, when you think about moving, Atlanta's in the middle. It's all these cities around it.
Yeah.
So where the fuck do I move? I work from home, 7.
Yeah.
How do I find an apartment? Do I live in Smyrna? Do I live in Marietta? Do I live in Decatur? Do I live in Douglas? Like, I started to get a headache apartment shopping.
Yeah.
I'm going to all these different places. It's taking me an hour and a half to get across town. I'm starting to look at life here, and I'm like, oh, this isn't what I'm used to. Philly, I can get anywhere in 30
Quick.
minutes.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just, you think places is for you. When you start to look at the functionality of it, it wasn't conducive for my life.
Yeah.
I'm driving a lot. I'm confused. I really don't want to drive 20 minutes to go get some food. I'm not used to that. So
Yeah.
I'm a city girl through and through. So I need to be in a city. You
Listen, that's not
in a city,
me.
in a city, it was robbed. So
No.
he gonna
No,
rob
for
you.
real though. No, for real
So
though.
I just, when I looked at it, and I got to a point, and that was my first period of being like, you can't always do what you want.
Mm-hmm.
You got to look at things and be logical before you move. And I didn't do that. I just up and left.
Yeah.
And that changed my life because I really thought people was like, till this day, people still think I live in Atlanta. 7. I promise you. People think that I fly back and forth to Philadelphia. Every
Yeah,
once in a while, I'll be somewhere. They be like, yo, you still live in Atlanta? No.
I never even knew you moved to Atlanta. I don't
No.
even think my mom told me that.
I do not. I do not.
No, I don't think nobody told me that.
Oh, man. I think this is my food. Yep. This is definitely my food.
How are you? Delivery outside.
Thank you.
Thank you.
My bad, y'all. That's
My mom hates Georgia. You got her started.
Miss Tamika, it's not for us. Us type of people, it's not.
You
It's
got her
not.
started. I want to live
Okay,
in
so-
Atlanta. I want to live on, because I want to build up my. That's another topic. But I want to build up my own house and stuff like that.
Right.
Buy some land.
Okay.
If you had if you could say a second passion, I know you do so much, but like, if you had a second passion, what would that be?
Oh my God.
Or what is it? Whatever,
Ooh. I bet y'all, I'm out of shape. I just walked up there for my breath. Second passion?
Yeah.
So, I would definitely be doing something probably in like sports.
Yeah. Oh my God, I
For
forgot you used to
sure.
play basketball.
Yeah, like if I would do it again, I mean, here's the thing. A lot of people, like, they do like videos and stuff for sports, they don't pay as much. Because they know, like, hey, like, you working for the Sixers on your resume, that's already a notch.
Yeah.
Like, I don't need to pay you.
Yeah, you good. Look.
And it's not like it's not competitive, but it's like, okay, I can make $60,000 having to be at games all day. That's fun at first. But have you ever sat courtside on your ass for a 4-hour game?
No, I said
Taking pictures?
though.
No, I'm just saying, like, the people, if you look, they be on the side of
Yeah,
the
I've been
court.
seeing it when they just.
It's not
be
very
kneeling.
comfortable.
Yeah.
So I would probably be doing something on the lines of like social media or like VP of like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Definitely in sports though. If not sports, maybe like television. I love shows.
Okay.
Producing.
I can see that.
Like that.
You got like a TV personality though.
Yeah, maybe behind the scenes though.
Anything with a girls basketball team, that's you. That's what you
Yeah,
said.
for sure. Y'all see the page.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I know.
Support women's basketball.
Yo, I see you and I'm like, yo, Keisha really be out for
Yeah.
it.
I mean, and it's funny because that's what, when people ask me, like, what do I do for fun?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I watch basketball.
That's
I
easy.
watch sports.
Yeah.
I get a lot of motivation from it. Like, sometimes being an entrepreneur can be really defeating, or, like, really tiring.
Mm-hmm.
But when I see, somebody hit a 3-pointer, I be feeling like that's what I'm doing for my clients. Like,
you are,
people,
though. You
people
are,
don't
though.
see it that way, but, like, I feel like you expect me to be LeBron today.
Yeah.
In order to make this happen, I got to tap in.
Yeah.
So I channel a lot of motivation from that.
So I got one more. Well, I got a couple questions.
Yeah.
But your best project, what would you say your best project is? Was or is?
Okay,
or whatever
there's
the case
two.
may be.
There's two. One was more so like sentimental.
Mhm.
I lost my grandfather to HIV,
Mhm.
and I had the American Association of HIV Medicine, which is like a national nonprofit organization. They do a lot of great work for
Yeah.
HIV medicine. They reached out to me to do some design work. So I got to do a infographic, which was about a new needle that was supposed to help HIV. Either way, having that sentiment with my grandfather and them reaching out and then being able to just contribute to that, pushing the needle however I can, that was just really special to me. It was really cool. I didn't have to pitch. Like, it's not like I went to them. They found me, and it just worked out.
That's decent.
She found me from a LinkedIn group. So don't be sleeping on LinkedIn.
Yeah, I sleep on LinkedIn.
I'm telling you, I've been sleeping, but she was like, hey, I saw your work in a group, and I saw you're a Delta. I'm a member of Delta Sigma Incorporated. She was a Delta, and it worked out.
That's decent.
The second one, I got to design a box that had a gift to all of the 76ers maybe like 2 years ago. So I have this picture with like my box design in Embiid's closet. So that was really cool.
That's decent.
Yeah.
You got a lot of decent opportunities.
Yeah, I did. I just don't really talk about them too much, but I've been able to just
very humble.
People think that it has to be a Nike but I've been able to work with some people that are making like I got a client that's making. I'm not saying bank, but she's doing very well for herself.
I actually want you to get
popcorn.
I want you to get into your job a little bit.
Okay.
So y'all can like understand.
So I run a branding agency, and when you think of a brand, people are like think it's just one directional. But when you have a brand, you need marketing, you need visuals, you need strategy. So a lot of times people come to me for like a flyer. And I end up redoing their logo or helping them with some marketing strategies or their online presence. So a lot of what I do is helping brands deliver their brand story. So whether that's on social media, whether that's traditional marketing of like maybe flyers or more in-person marketing. But overall, just trying to help amplify whatever your brand is and that mission. Yeah. A lot of it starts with visibility. People are doing great things, but they are not taking pictures of it, or they're not talking about it enough, and they're losing out on opportunities. So I think when you have all these cylinders firing, you can kind of hit your goals a little bit better. So that's kind of what I come and do. I do a lot of graphic design work, a lot of digital marketing, and a lot of video and photography.
Okay, now do you like charge by the person? Like, say if somebody just hits you randomly. Or do you just do contracts? Or, like, how do you...
So, right now, what I prefer is retainer clients. Okay. Because retainers, they're consistently, they're not someone that's coming off from one-off projects. Excuse me. I don't discriminate against people who do one-off projects. They still are, my bread and butter. But to keep the business afloat long time, I have clients that, they're under contract for 6 months or a year. Like right now, I'm on a year contract with a nonprofit. Okay. I work X amount of hours a week. They pay me X amount per hour, and I only work 15 hours. Oh, yeah. They know that, hey, they're not my only client. They give me my tax return. So it's just, I have that, and then I have another client that I do their video editing for. They pay me X amount per month. I have another client, I manage their social media. So you look up and you have consistent people that are willing to pay you to do these things consistently. Versus I do have people that are like, hey, I need a flyer. All right, girl, I'll do your flyer real quick. Yeah. Hey, can you do my birthday video? I'll do that real quick. So, yeah, you have these one-off things, but the retainers are, I think, what, keeps it afloat long term.
And also, like, with the class, I know you
so that's actually under the nonprofit I work for where I'm under contract. It's a high school. It's a nonprofit, but it's an accelerated high school, and basically it's an entrepreneur elective class. Okay. It's an 8-week course, 8 to 10 weeks course. It's about 15 high school students, and I just take them through the process of starting a business, and
that's decent.
It's
crazy because I know we talked about this before, but I want to do something like that. Yeah. Remember I told you how I wanted to make the book of different things, whatever. Like that's another reason why I'm kind of doing a podcast, so I can learn as much as I learn, and like also put it into my businesses and put it into this podcast. Like I need help with branding and marketing. I'm not the best, but like I'm trying to get there. Whatever.
I mean, you're doing the hardest part, which is being consistent. Mm-hmm. You know how many times I've made logos or done all these great marketing things for a client and they don't use it. So yeah, you can have dope stuff, but if you don't use it, what's the point? Yeah. So you're doing the hard work. Yeah. Now it's a matter of how do you streamline this.
Yep. And how do I go bigger? And I think that's like where I'm at right now, right? Well, I know I'm still,
And I think
getting there.
Yeah, and it's just where you come into play of like, you know, people you talk to, what makes it different. I think your next step would be like perfect example. You have this video, it's an hour long, but how do you give people this consistently throughout the week?
Yeah.
I don't only want to see it on Friday.
Yeah.
How do I see it on a Tuesday with a 5-minute clip or 2?
Yeah.
You know, so
I get what you're saying, because I definitely try to get into that, because
Yeah.
I noticed, like, I'm like, all right, I get it. People want to see it a little bit more, or they don't even know about it. So,
Yeah.
like, them seeing it on a different day and they just see, like, a little clip. I don't know if you've seen the clip I made.
Mm-mm.
I don't think you did, but I made this clip. I did it myself. I used CapCut. But it's basically unique. It's on here, you know, talk about trading and stuff like that. And she shouted out Skrilla. And I just thought it was so random. So I'm like, I definitely gotta clip that and make it like something. So this is what I kind of did. I got the song behind it.
Or you could have it in a market in, let's say, 5 to 22%. You know, I do want to shout out Skrilla. It's a crazy person on this planet. I probably love. Oh, shout out my nigga Skrilla.
So, perfect example. You took too long to get there.
Yeah.
Great clip. You had the right intentions,
but
you took too long.
So how I did it like that, right? This was my thinking behind it. Why I did it like that. I know this off topic, but just listen.
No, but this is still on brand though.
So why I did it like that is because I didn't want them to think that we just talk about anything. You get what I'm saying? So I wanted to still keep the message there.
You gotta remember, sometimes you can give people a piece. You're gonna click on this page and get more. Your job is not to put everything into a clip. Yeah. It's to give me a piece of the pie and make me want more.
So I can look at it like.
So if I just see a clip and say Skrilla, I'm like,
yeah.
And then I'm a clip. But when you gave me too much, you lost me.
Yeah.
People's attention span is short. Why do you think if most videos start with the craziest thing first and then they'll back up?
Yeah.
So you should have started with her saying Skrilla, and then maybe play the clip.
It's crazy because I'm that person. Like I was just talking to one of my friends earlier, and I was saying how, you know, I don't know, this TikTok came out about the girl flying to New York or Atlanta or whatever.
International, you mean? Yeah. That girl went overseas for that?
Yo, so I didn't really look at it. Like I looked at it, and then like it was too long, so I got off of it. And now that I'm thinking about it, I should have kept it just like that, like how you said, like short and simple. Because if they would have kept it like, I would have been like even at the TikTok that was who did I marry? I watched that whole thing because it kept me interested. It kept me like, it was like a TV show, and I'm like, I get that TV stuff from my mom, so like once something catch my attention, I can do it.
This is my rule of thumb, because I'm a traditional marketing girl. Don't get me wrong. I love all the new age, devices, but ain't nothing changed in advertising. Y'all look at these commercials. They are 30 seconds. Do you think about it? 30 seconds.
Yep.
Most of these major brands have 30 seconds, maybe a minute at most to advertise to you. Really don't even get a minute. You get 30 seconds. And it's a forced 30 seconds. So you got to think about it like that. Like, I got quick.
Yep.
So if you would have with that, then I'm like, what's Skrilla?
Yeah. And
then the other part is, who's to say everyone can listen at the time?
Yeah.
So what if I'm in an environment that I can't listen? I don't know what your video is saying because you don't have no text in it. Half of the people are deaf or in environments where they can't listen.
Yo, I didn't think about that at all. Like, at all. But now that I'm talking to you, it makes sense. Like, it makes sense.
Like, if I'm sitting at work and I see Skrilla text, I'm going to figure out where my earpod is and put it in there. Versus me, I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about next. You just lost
I get what you're saying. Yo.
So I'm just, these are just small things that, this is what marketing is. This is my job.
I mean, that's good to know now. So, like, when I make my next little clip, I can take that into consideration and do something different. Yeah. You know? So, since we kind of skipped this part, I do like to ask this question every podcast I do. What do you do for self-care? Like, do you take a day or do you take a couple hours?
To be honest, these days my niece is like, brings me a lot of joy. That little girl makes you so happy. You know, you be having a bad day and you see her over there, Keisha. But she is crazy. So after she starts to burn me out sometimes, let's see. I watch TV a lot. And TV includes shows. I get lost in TV shows. I'm like your mom when it comes to that. I thoroughly enjoy a glass of wine and a good TV show, and a good game. I watch a lot of basketball.
I know you do.
That's my favorite. That like it's something you zone out. You just see them frying people, and you just forget about whatever.
Yeah.
So I do that, and then I hang out with my friends.
That's lit.
Yeah,
Yeah, you still got time to balance your own life though.
You know,
Yeah.
I take quick trips. You know,
Yeah,
I find
see you.
myself care.
I see you.
I'm
As you
live
should
my
though.
life. My
As
mom
you
always
should.
said you got one life to live,
Yep.
so you better live it.
Yep. I was on a podcast with somebody, and I bring this up because he basically said he don't do self-care. Like, he do it when he do it. And I'm just like, you gonna burn yourself out. You to keep your goals going,
Yeah.
you have to still be
I mean,
refreshed.
some people are wired like crazily like that, like where they just want to work.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's not me.
Yeah.
Some people get a real high from just doing their job and doing it well. I do, you know, at times, but sometimes work burns me out.
Yeah.
Like, things you love can burn you out.
Yep.
Two things can be true.
And if you burn yourself out, like, sometimes you lose that love. Like, and I want to keep that love for things I
Yeah.
do, so I try not to burn myself out.
And it's like, sometimes I need to close my laptop.
Yeah.
Sometimes I need to put my phone down. And I have a partner who's really good at like, hey, let's do something. Or,
Mhm.
hey, you've been doing a lot of work. Let's unplug.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That's decent. I mean, I think self-care is
Right,
very
yeah.
important.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not everybody's opinion. I just thought that was crazy. So ever since he asked me that, now I like to do it because I just thought it was like, maybe everybody think like this or something.
No, and it's real. And I take pride in like my skin routine. Like,
Me
it's the
too.
small stuff. Like, people
Me
think
too.
you gotta be something crazy. The thing self-care could be, hey, I said that I was finally gonna actually get this skin product and use it for a
Yeah.
week straight, and I did it, and that shit makes me happy because
Yeah.
now my skin is clear.
Yeah. I do the same thing. Like,
Yeah.
every Sunday I do nothing. Everybody know on Sundays you
Yeah.
cannot call me, you cannot text me,
Oh
you
my
cannot
God.
get through to me. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not moving on Sunday.
I wish that I had like a strict day, but my issue is it fluctuates. Like,
Yeah.
I can't pick up.
I get what you. Yeah.
But I'm gonna find a day where I'm a
Yeah.
strag. That's
Yeah.
what I call it. I'm being a strag.
So how I am, like, mostly Monday through Saturday, I'm running. Like, it's no stopping. So I understand, like, I can't do my self-care during the week, but on a Sunday, I'm going to. That's why I stopped working like a lot of jobs because of that. I can't work on a Sunday.
Yeah.
I just don't feel like that
No.
along with my culture. I'm so sorry.
You like Chick-fil-A.
Yeah.
I'm just not open.
Yeah.
I'm just not open.
Nope, not at all.
Got
I
you.
cannot help anybody on a Sunday. If
Nah,
I help
that's
you on a
the
Sunday,
point.
I must really, 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 really,
No,
really,
facts.
really love you.
That's how I feel. Like, if,
On my self-care days, I can't.
what? I don't want to move.
I can't.
Oh my
help it.
God.
Now, if you was to talk to your younger self after this couple, I got like 3 more questions. We're gonna wrap it up. But if you was to talk to your younger self, what would you say?
Oh my goodness. That's a good one. The younger self. I would say slow down. Because I think when I was younger, I just was trying to get through so
Mhm.
much so fast. And I wish that I took the time to like smell the roses. Like going to boarding school, really being there, or like really, you know, tapping into being involved in more of my classes, or just like slowing down and thinking I had to fix everything myself. Like, I had way more support than I thought. You know what I mean? And sometimes you tend to make decisions because you're like, oh, I'm by myself, and you're not. So I would definitely tell myself to slow down. You got it. Yeah.
That's good words. I think I'm gonna add that to the question I do every podcast.
Yeah.
Because that's a good thing. Yeah. What would you give some free game to? What's some free game you would give to somebody where they're trying to be where you are, or be around that area?
Okay. I would say some free game that I would have is don't be afraid to ask questions, y'all. Like, I don't know where we got in this culture of being too cool.
Yeah.
I got to where I'm at because I wasn't afraid to ask questions.
Yeah.
And I'm still not. I am a student of the game forever. I think when you look at being dedicated to something that's like a journey and versus like, oh, I'm just trying to get there. Someone once told me, like, you gotta look at it like a journey instead of a process.
Mm-hmm.
Process sometimes it's like check. It's very deadline. It's very tense. But I think if you look at your process, like what you're going through as a journey, you know, you'll start to accept whatever happens versus you have these expectations, you set yourself up for failure sometimes.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I expect to make X amount. Instead of you trying to make X amount, what if you just start the business and see what happens?
Yeah.
You know? And then from there, obviously, as you grow, you can set these standards. But I definitely think the free game is you got to make sure that you're not afraid to ask questions and try. Like, what they say, you miss 100% of the shots you don't try.
Yeah, that's true.
And, yeah. So, bet on yourself.
Closed mouth don't get fed.
Yeah, all that. And it sounds so cliche, but that's true. I never meet somebody that's successful that was afraid to ask a question or afraid to be like, hey, I need help.
Yeah.
Vulnerability, there's so much strength, y'all. And I didn't get to where I'm at by myself. So figure out how to lean on people and really trust them. And that's the tough part, right?
Because we just talk about that. Yep.
But you gotta trust somebody at some point.
I told you that. I said that to you. I said that you definitely, eventually, you're gonna have to get to that point where
the wise person once told me that.
I'm the wise person.
Yep, yeah, she's the wise person. Bringing it back to her. Bringing it back full circle.
Last question. How do you feel about 9 to 5? I know that you're like a full-time entrepreneur, but
honestly, I feel like you gotta do what works best for you.
Yep.
I think people talk about 9 to 5, but I know a lot of people that set up their lives very well on 9 to 5.
True.
I know somebody that worked 9 to 5 their whole life and was able to rebuild their whole, house and do upgrades off their 9 to 5. There's 401ks and 9 to 5s. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You got Roth, ROA. Like there's just a lot of things that you can get into. So I think if it works for you, it works for you. But if you got this burning sensation that just keeps knocking you every turn, give it a try.
Yeah, go do that.
And my biggest thing is be logical, y'all. Don't be out here leaving your job and you ain't got no money, now you're home. Like, come. And I think that's the point where a lot of people are like, follow your dream, but you gotta sacrifice something. I'm grateful to have a mom that lets me live in her house.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd be able to be a full-time entrepreneur if I didn't.
Yeah. And
maybe now, because I've been living at my mom's house 2 years, so I've been able to get these contracts. But when I first moved home, I didn't have what I had. So there was no way I would have been able to pay rent. Yeah. But I have a mom that allows me to be here, so it's like, I can take that risk. If I didn't, I would have had to get a job. Yeah. And even being here, I had to be like, damn, okay, Markeisha, you're an entrepreneur, but you need to get some consistent clients. Yeah. These flyers over here, and it ain't cutting it. I can't plan trips on flyers that I don't know when they're coming, y'all.
No, for real, though.
I can't, no, real, like, you can't buy birthday gifts if I'm just waiting on money to come.
Yeah. So
I realized, like, if I want to show up and be the sister, the partner, the friend, I gotta make some moves, and if that is a consistent 9 to 5, or I go in the office. People think I just work. Yo, I got a client, or I have to go in the office. I'm still an entrepreneur, but I still gotta go in the office 2 days out the week.
Yeah, that's what you gotta do for your business. Yeah, I like to talk about the 9 to 5 thing, because I feel like a lot of people, what we see on social media and stuff like that.
Nah, they slipping.
Yeah,
it's a me. Like
you gotta start somewhere.
I got people that their 9 to 5 set up their business so much because half of the battle is credibility. You're going to start this business with people looking at you like, why are you an expert? Yeah. But if I go work for Goldman Sachs for 5 years and then I go start a finance company, people will give me a little bit more credibility because I worked at Goldman. So you sometimes have to use these things to get what you want. Same way they're using you. Yep. True. So get yours too.
That's true.
You
definitely got to. To wrap it up, y'all, I want to thank.
Excuse me.
I want to thank Markeisha for coming on here again. Yo, let's shout out Mark BA. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, wait, are you okay with them texting you, BA?
Oh yeah. Okay. Follow me on Mark BA on Instagram. I think we got a Facebook too. If you're on Facebook, we got a website, markba.com. Yeah.
Let's definitely start doing that, y'all, because she's slacking on her own marketing.
I am, but I'm going to be better, y'all. Next time, y'all check, I'm going to be posting and out here. But thank you, 7, for getting me out my shot.
Yeah, you definitely got to. Like your business.
I appreciate it.
It's amazing. People have to see it.
Thank you, 7.
This is the Free Game Podcast, and thank y'all for joining.